Hi, I'm Claire of the One-to-One Diet in Windsor. Today I have the privilege of interviewing Vanessa Thomas. Vanessa's story featured in the Express. Hi Vanessa, thank you for answering my questions today. How much weight have you lost and how long did it take you to do it?
Hi Claire, thanks for having me. Wow, I've lost just over 6.5 stone. It's taken me just over a year. I've gone from a size 22, 24 to a size 14 that I'm comfortable in. Um, I thought about losing more, but to be honest, I'm happy where I am, and I haven't been this size since before I met my husband. So it's been amazing to get out the clothes that I couldn't fit in, but I couldn't bear to part with, and try them all on again.
That's fantastic. Why did you choose the one-to-one diet?
It was actually a random encounter. I was scrolling through Facebook, as you do, and I saw an advert for the one-to-one diet. I'd heard of the Cambridge before, but was pretty badly informed, thinking it was just shakes and soups. So got on Google, had a little bit of a look at it, and saw you could eat chocolate, and I was pretty much sold.
We really are a great brand. What steps did you choose to follow and why?
Well, when you first start, there are some medical questions to go through. I have chronic pain conditions such as fibromyalgia and ME, so I take a lot of painkillers. So I discussed this with my consultant, and he actually advised the lowest step I could go on was 1B. We did discuss starting at a higher step and then working my way down to the lowest step, but to be honest, I was excited and wanted to get going. So talking about 1B, it was 4 products a day, and it turned out it actually suited me better. I'm not much of a cook, and I have no interest in it either. So having products that were easy to prepare or ready-made really suited me, especially on high pain days where I wasn't very mobile. There were just things I could have by me, still eat regularly, and yeah, it worked out really well.
What products did you have? What was your favourites? What were your go-tos? What would you recommend to other clients?
Well, I've got quite a bland palate and a very picky eater, so I was actually quite worried that I wouldn't like the products. Um, Before, it wasn't enough that it was chocolate, it had to be Cadbury's. So the first thing I went for is the chocolate products, and I have to say, move over Terry's chocolate orange. The chocolate orange fusion bars are amazing. Um, let's think, the chocolate shakes. You can also add the mixer boost to them. Makes a pretty decent Angel Delight type product. Oh gosh, yes, the water flavourings. I've always been really good at drinking just plain water, so I wasn't really sure about adding anything into it, but I'm so glad I tried the raspberry and elderflower. I've even used it as a recipe that I saw on a Facebook forum. So you've got the raspberry and elder water flour, uh, water flavouring, and then you add a few drops of rose water, make it into a jelly with the mixer mousse, and then you can actually sandwich it in between a chocolate chewy bar, and it is just like Fry's Turkish Delight. Um, Not easy to eat, but it's quite fun. Let's think what else. There's the soups. I've never been much of a soup eater. But again, chicken noodle soup, leek and potato, chicken and mushroom soup, they've all been fantastic. Um, and of course, the bars, chocolate orange, as I mentioned, chocolate chewy, toffee bar, caramel bites, um, cookies and cream, dark chocolate, fruit and nut bar. I think you could be sensing a theme here, but yeah, pretty much most of those things have been in my favourite lists. Oh, and the porridge too. Love the porridge. It's nice and filling. Even like the spaghetti bolognese. The first time I had it, I looked at the bowl and I thought, I don't know if that's going to fill me, but it does. It might not look much, but when you've actually eaten it, you feel full and you're fine to go to your next product. I haven't suffered with hunger at all. It's been amazing.
There's some of my favourites there too. Can you describe a typical day on plan? What's it like? What did you do?
Well, I started most days with porridge, still do really. Actually love the original flavour. It's nice and sweet, but not too overpowering. Then for lunch, I try and mix it up as best as I can. So it could be one of the shakes, the soups, or sometimes spaghetti bolognese. It depends on what I was doing that day or how I was feeling, really. And then in the evening would be like the reverse of what I'd had for lunch. Trying to keep it as varied as possible, but sometimes I'm quite guilty of having a second porridge because I do really like them. Then in the evening, that was my treat time. So not very varied. It would be a chocolate orange bar, caramel bites, a toffee bar, or in the winter, I got into the habit of having the chocolate shake hot. It was like a hot chocolate, which is actually really nice. But yeah, I'm a bit of a TV watcher in the evening, so it was nice to have that treat, but still be on plan.
What were your highs and your lows? What sort of experiences did you have on plan throughout your journey, throughout losing weight?
Well, my first high was that first weigh-in. I'd lost 8 pounds. I really couldn't believe it. I actually got off the scales and got back on again. I was just absolutely over the moon. Another high, which my consultant called a nonscale victory, was my sister's birthday. We all got together for a family meal and I ate my products. I was still part of the celebrations, but I was still in control and on plan, which was a huge achievement for me. Another huge high was feeling the difference in my clothes. I remember that day that I got the suitcase down from the top of my wardrobe. As I said before, it was full of the clothes that I kept from before when I was a size 14, but couldn't bear to get rid of them. And trying them on, it was like Christmas. Things either fit or were too big, and that was just a fantastic feeling. My biggest low was probably when I had to have an operation in the middle of it all. I'd been following the plan right up until the last day and when I was took in, but actually quite got anxious over not wanting to put my weight back on in my time off plan. Silly as it sounds, because obviously there was other things I should have been concerned with, but I'd already lost like 3 or 4 stone by that point, and I was worried about, eating normally again, if you like. So it did really get me down. But I have to say, I still ate healthily. Couldn't have the products, but I'd already learned enough to know what was good for me. So I didn't actually do any damage. By the time I could get back on plan again, I was away again. I think there have been other lows. Mainly to do with my illness. If I've had bad mobility days, obviously it's quite frustrating, but it sounds sad, but the plan actually helped me get through some of those days. For all the things that I can't control with my body in my life, I felt that being on plan was actually one thing I could control. I was losing the weight to help myself. And when you're not faced with many options, having that choice actually gave me some hope. So although there were lows, I always managed to turn them into positives again. Even like hunger, I said before that I didn't really struggle with hunger. And that's because obviously you have to up your water intake. But I took that very seriously. If I did feel that I might be hungry, I'd have a drink, whether that was water, whether that was a hot raspberry and elderflower water. 9 times out of 10, that would fix it. But if, you know, for that one time that I actually felt, no, I'm still hungry, then it was time to eat. So, as I said, there's been lots of highs and lows, but it all kind of added to the journey, really. It's what's helped me get to target. I've remembered those low points, you know, where I was feeling a bit of despair about not being on plan. But then I also allowed it to help me focus, thinking, well, I'm going to be maintaining at some point, what would I be eating then? And that's why I didn't do any damage in, you know, that time off plan. So, yeah, really proud of myself overall.
Can you tell me what some of your non-scale victories were?
I've actually had a lot over the last year, not just my sister's birthday, but our family's gone round to a friend's house for takeaway, and I've just used their microwave to eat my products, which felt good. There's obviously been the clothes fitting, taking all my bigger clothes to the charity shop. That felt really good. Just feeling more confident in myself, having better mobility, even on pain days, getting my weight loss story published in the Express, which obviously I hope will inspire someone else. I think the latest one was actually another family meal, but this time, since I've been at Target, it was all conventional foods. We had a roast and I felt in control. You know, there was no worry about, oh, I can't have that. I just ate a sensible portion with healthy foods. And yeah, it felt really good not to be fazed by it at all. So yeah, I class that as a non-scale victory too.
What would you say to a dieter that's watching you now and listening to everything you're saying with these questions and answers?
I think my best piece of advice is give it a go. There's no pressure from your consultant. They're just there to support and motivate you. It's private. You haven't got to tell anyone else if you don't want to. But with your consultant, it keeps you accountable. There is someone to check in with, someone to talk to if you're worried about eating out at any time. Doesn't matter if you're not very mobile like me, if you take medications or whatever your circumstances are, you know, you just need that bit of honesty with your consultant. No point in saying you're fine if you're clearly not. They're there to help you, and the only way you can help yourself is to talk to them, engage with them, and yeah, they'll be able to advise you the best they can, and yeah, you'll be at Target and you'll feel so much better for it.
I wasn't your consultant, but I'm proud to call you a colleague and a friend. I'd like to credit your consultant, Martin. How was it having a consultant on a one-to-one basis?
Thank you. And likewise, it's been amazing to have such support from a huge community of consultants. And well, you know, Claire, that a few of us have actually formed quite a close bond, and we're all from across the UK and Scotland, and that's really nice to have that support there as well. But yeah, my consultant, I really couldn't have done it without him. It's so important to have someone there to be accountable to know that they've got your back, someone to believe in you when you might not believe in yourself, someone to dance around the scales with you or for you if you can't do it yourself. Just that driving force of someone to talk to who's unbiased. You know, they're not going to tell you things are great if they aren't. They're going to just support and motivate you to help you to keep going week after week until you get to where you want to be.
How is life better for you now? Now you've lost the weight and you've gained all this confidence in this new life.
Well, obviously, it's not a cure for my health conditions, but hand on heart, it has definitely improved them. On a good day, my mobility has improved, and hey, I can even paint my own toenails, which is kind of cool. I think my self-confidence has probably been the biggest factor, and it's had a knock-on effect to many parts of my life. Um, After a lifetime of being a picky eater, I'm trying new foods, which is only going to be better for my long-term health. I'm wearing my old clothes again, back in that size 14, which is, pre-illness. So I feel more like the old Vanessa again, which is nice. I talk to strangers in the till queues again. And even my husband said that I'm actually engaging more with the family rather than sitting on, you know, the sidelines feeling isolated. I'm actually being more creative with how I can join in the things that I can do. So it's helped my positivity in general, really. I just feel brighter and healthier, I guess.
I mentioned colleague. Why did you become a one-to-one diet consultant yourself?
I guess the first thing is the feel good factor, isn't it? It's amazing to feel that you're making a difference in someone else's life, to give out awards to help inspire them, support them, to celebrate with them. It's just, it's the highlight of my week. Um, Secondly, it's not that easy to find a genuine work from home work opportunity, really. As a disabled person, I can't fit into the 9 to 5 schedule of most employment. So having the flexible hours actually really suits me. I didn't want to be doing cold calling. I didn't want to be stuffing crackers or whatever else things are out there. So yeah, this is actually a win-win that I get the job satisfaction and that I'm actually working and contributing towards my household income. That's a good self-esteem boost as well. So yeah, flexibility and feel-good factor, I think.
Vanessa, thank you. You've been an absolute star, and thank you for taking these questions and answers today. And I hope that you inspire lots of dieters to come and join us.